What do you think about what Kanye West is doing to the discussion about Christianity? Do you think that he's a good advocate for it at this point in time?
Oh, man. I think he was a great advocate at one point in time.
Kind of feels like he doesn't talk about God as much.
He just did a thing today that came out, and him talking about how he's back in church and he's trying to do better. So I was at some of the Sunday services back in the day.
Dope.
And they were dope. They were dope. And so if you ever go back and look at that stuff, that when they did at the forum, you can't really see Kanye in those. Like, he's hidden out. He does his raps. He doesn't talk. He didn't rant. He didn't do anything. And when he did his interview with Lex, he said that he's been off of his medication for 2.5 years, and that's right when the Sunday services stopped. It's about 2.5 years ago. And that's when the president run started happening, and that's when all the rants started happening, is when he got it. So I think Kanye seemed to be in a sweet spot in terms of stable, if you watch that Zane Lowe interview, when he was actively doing his Sunday services and on medication. I don't think it's an either or. So I think that was a sweet spot, and I thought the Jesus is King album was dope. I thought Donda was dope.
I agreed. Now, just to take that further and expand on that, one of his current advisors, Fuentes, how do you feel about his brand of Christianity?
I'm not a fan. I debated a Nick Fuentes black white supremacist on my channel.
What was his name? Do you know?
I don't remember. He
Flacco?
wouldn't come. No. I don't know who that is. I don't know if I'm allowed to laugh at that.
Oh no, he's gonna come busting in here.
So I think Ye running around with Nick Fuentes is not a good look because of the
White supremacy thing?
The white supremacy thing. But no, specifically because people will be like, how is he white supremacist? And it's the
white nationalist. It's
the IQ. They believe that black people are a standard deviation lower in IQ. So I went down the rabbit hole and did all of this research and did a video about it and how it's utter nonsense. Standard deviation is 15 points. So if the average IQ is 100, they're saying that black people have an 85 IQ, which is insane. And so this black gentleman, he wasn't on camera, so I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt, called in and they started spamming my chat, and I ended up debating a black white supremacist on black people not having a standard deviation lower IQ. I think that's poison. I think that view is completely awful, and I don't know if Ye knows that that's what Nick is on.
Right. And it's kind of weird to see both Flacco and Kanye having the same thing of like really liking Nick Fuentes despite like almost everything he's ever said or done. Like, it's just kind of baffling, right?
It sucks that we're talking about this now because the only black guy left earlier.
Yeah.
But I think that there's...
He'd be having a field day.
He's here in spirit.
Well, I think there's this feeling among a lot of black people that he verbalized that where, like, yeah, you've got, like, racist conservatives, but, like, the liberals are fucking racist, too. And they're racist in a different kind of way.
Absolutely. Over-pandering.
Yeah, that shit. Yeah, they treat you like you're a retarded child.
Right.
Like, the way that they treat you is just, like, so fucked.
I don't fuck with that shit either.
When it feels like everybody's like that and everybody's two-faced, if another guy comes out and he's like, yo, listen, we can work on shit together. I think that you're, like, genetically retarded, but I'm honest about it. Then, like, I think that there's an endearing quality there. We're like, you know what? Sure, I could fuck with you. At least you're cool about it. I know where I stand. And I legitimately think that there are people that feel that way, right?
You think Nick's being that honest, though?
No, not at all.
I think he's holding his cards close.
But at the very least, he comes off as more racist than the average person. Yeah. And I think that if you are black and you feel like everybody's hiding their racism, having a guy that's a little bit more overt with it is like, okay, sure, fine. At least like you're honest about it. Like I know where I stand with you. Yeah. I think it is a little bit more extreme than he lets on, depending on who he's talking to.
I don't appreciate that he's doing it in the name of Jesus or Christianity or even Catholicism.
Well, that's his whole shtick.
That's a bad look. That has nothing to do with. I just had the leading Catholic apologist on my channel, and they're not on that time. And I'm not a Catholic, but they're not on that.
Well,
time.
that's what we were saying earlier. Like he claims to be a Catholic nationalist, not even a white nationalist.
But there's something that you brought up earlier. Yeah. Generally, when we watch movies, there's a structure to everything. Right. You don't see random fuck characters on screen. There's not a random thing that happens. Like everything is like pretty ordered and pretty purposeful for the intention of like delivering some experience. We want to feel like our lives are the same way. Religion is nice because it's like the total package in terms of giving you all the different things that you need to live your life. Like if I don't have religion, I've got to figure out like how am I supposed to act? Because moral and ethics are very complicated to figure out, arguably impossible. What am I supposed to believe about like the state of the world? Like metaphysics and ontology, like I don't know what exists or why, or if a tree falls in a forest, is anybody, I don't know, like any of these things, right? You don't know when the universe began. You don't know what the purpose you have in life is. Like, is there a reason why I exist? Like sometimes life sucks. Is there a meaning to that? Or is it just shitty? And religion is a really nice way to take all of those complicated questions and then give you a package that addresses each and every one such that it's the reason why even even for people like you who like might not have like the strictest interpretation, that structure is still there, and it gives you meaning to carry you through the shitty times so you can look forward to the good times, I think.
Helps make sense of the suffering.
Yeah.
No, absolutely. Absolutely, 1,000%. I mean, that's pretty much like the catalyst for having faith right there, and just having answers and definitive knowledge of something as opposed to just...
And like a beacon truly in the dark, right? Especially you said you're a few years clean on drugs or whatever.
Absolutely,
right?
yes.
That yeah, like pushing through, especially for relapse times. Like yeah, because what the fuck is the point of anything? You might as well just destroy your life. Having something like shining through that's like no, push towards this. Like I think can be a good guidance for a lot of people for sure.
And really, okay, let's say I'm wrong, and let's say everything that I believe turns out to be wrong, and there's, and it's just complete randomness, and there is no God. At least I was leaning towards being a beacon of positivity and trying to help society and be the best version of myself, because that's truly what I believe. If I can't make an actual definition of what God is, God is the best version of myself. And I might not necessarily know how to define God, but me at my best is loving, caring, accepting, forgiving, present, tolerant. And if I'm trying my best to personify these ideologies and like, you know what I mean? Like, or these traits, then that's me being as close to God if he does exist, or even if he doesn't exist.
But you know what? When an atheist like me hears all that, it just sounds like
fuck you, shoot porn.
No, it just sounds like something other than a conversation about whether it's true or not. Because to me, that's the most important thing.
Yeah, because I think that's the mistaken way to approach it. I've repeated this a lot. I think on earlier shows and here today that like people are not fundamentally truth-seeking machines. That's not what we're wired to do. I don't think that people go into religion. Now, maybe there might be like apologetics or other forms that try to like logically justify it, but I don't think most people are there like searching for truth. They're looking for meaning. And those might feel like the same thing, but they're totally different, I think, right? You can find meaning in a lot of stuff that isn't truthful or doesn't have like a truth component to the question. You can find meaning in a lot of art, right? Is there a truth to how a particular piece of art is supposed to make you feel? Maybe not, but there can still be meaning behind it to a person. I think religion is very much the same way, so.
Yo, we just hit 400,000 subscribers right here on the Clips channel, so if you want to help us out, click subscribe, get us to 500K. Yeah.